welcome back to my channel. This is my attempt at making a monitor shelf for my son's desk. I wanted it to look sleek and modern, and I was inspired by the Grove meat stand, but I couldn't justify spending almost $500 on it. Why spend $500 when you can make this in 6 days? It's a no-brainer. If I had to calculate how much all the material ended up costing me for this particular build, I'd say it would be less than $50. I happen to have this leftover piece of sanded plywood that should work out just fine. I think it's birch, but I'm not even sure, and I guess it doesn't really matter. I basically copied the exact dimensions from Grove Made, but modified the bottom shelf area so it doesn't look exactly like it. Here's the full cut list in case you wanted to build one for yourself. The top piece and 3 legs are 3/4 of an inch thick, and the middle shelf is 3/16 of an inch thick. Let's get started. This piece happens to have a really nice grain pattern, so I'm digging it. There's minimal cuts needed to make this piece, and they're all pretty simple cuts. 3 cuts for the top shelf, 3 cuts for the legs, and 2 for the bottom shelf. I'll leave a link to all the items I use in the description. If you buy directly from my link, I'll get a little commission, but it costs you nothing extra. Now that the main pieces are cut, I want to do a dry fit to make sure the length and the height looks good. I wanted the corners rounded for a more modern and finished look. For added stability and strength, I'm going to use a Dado cut for the legs. And of course, I have to throw in a shot that's out of focus. Get a load of this gnarly ass jig I set up. Let's count the clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All to make this one cut. It's nearly impossible to get straight cuts without guides. Hey, if it works, I guess it ain't stupid, eh? I sanded each piece to a nice smooth finish using 120 and 220 grit sandpaper. After using a pre-stain on all the pieces, I just use a classic black stain for the legs. For the top and the bottom, I used the Varathane Dark Walnut stain. Depending on how dark you want it, you may have to put multiple coats. I put on 2 coats to get the desired color. For the sides, I used this lighter colored early American stain from Varathane as I wanted the bands of the plywood to show through. And finally, I finished it off with 3 coats of poly on all pieces and let it dry for a full day before assembly. And there it is, all 5 pieces completed and ready for assembly. Assembly is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm only using wood glue for the entire piece, no nail or screws. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button. Better yet, please subscribe to my channel. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks! After assembly, I let the piece dry at room temperature for a full day before putting it to use.